The trip began with poison when my daughter-in-law Camilla snapped at the receptionist, "Don't waste time on the old woman. She's just the help." My son Ethan laughed loudly, enjoying my humiliation. Neither of them knew that I, Nora, owned the very resort they were standing in. For months, I had clung to this family vacation like a fragile hope. At 72, I knew time with my son and his children was slipping away. I prayed this trip would heal broken bonds, not shatter them further. The 4-hour drive was filled with Ethan and Camilla bragging about spas, cocktails, and golf. I tried to ask Maya and Dylan about their friends, but Camilla cut me off with sharp dismissals. Ethan didn't even glance at me in the rearview mirror. I should have seen the storm long before we arrived, but my hunger for peace blinded me to the signs flashing red. The irony was brutal. They mocked me inside a hotel I had built from nothing. After losing my husband when Ethan was only 12, I worked myself ragged. I scrubbed toilets, changed sheets, and took every booking call with a smile. One tiny bed and breakfast grew into 17 properties across 3 states. I chose to keep that empire private, never flaunting my success at home. I wanted Ethan to value me as his mother, not as a wallet. But as I stepped into coastal paradise, pride mixed with dread in my chest. It had taken 3 years to buy this property and 2 more to renovate it into perfection. Every marble tile and chandelier reflected my sweat and vision. Yet my family walked in as if they were royalty, blind to my legacy. Camilla strutted into the lobby like she owned it. At 35, she flaunted her beauty like a purchased weapon, 20 years younger than Ethan, and always reminding him of it. "I want the penthouse suite, no excuses," she hissed. Ethan nodded instantly, as if her command were gospel. The confident boy I had raised had been replaced by a man afraid to breathe without her approval. My heart ached as I watched him bend. The lobby sparkled with chandeliers and polished marble, buzzing with guests. Kara, the front desk manager, spotted me and froze in recognition. I gave her a subtle shake of my head. I wasn't ready to reveal myself. "Reservation under hail," Ethan said firmly. "We'll be staying in the penthouse." Kara typed quickly before looking up. "Your reservation is confirmed for the deluxe suite," Kara said politely, "but the penthouse is booked." Camilla's face twisted like a storm cloud. "That's not acceptable. I demanded the penthouse," she shrieked. Kara apologized calmly, offering upgrades and amenities, but Camilla only raised her voice higher, ensuring every guest could hear. "I will not accept a second-rate room." I stepped forward, hoping to ease the tension. "Camilla, maybe we could—" But before I finished, she whipped around and spat venom. "Don't you dare speak, old woman," she snarled, pointing at me like I was dirt. "Ignore her. She's just our nanny." Gasps spread across the lobby as whispers began. The humiliation burned like fire on my skin. Camilla continued, her eyes flashing with cruelty. "She's nothing but the help. Don't waste your time on her." Then Ethan laughed. A cruel, hearty laugh that cut deeper than a knife. "Oh, Camilla, you're awful," he chuckled, "but you're not wrong." My heart shattered at his betrayal. This was my son, the boy I raised alone, the child I protected, the man I gave everything to. And here he was, laughing while his wife reduced me to nothing. Strangers watched, recording my shame on their phones. Kara's face paled, sympathy flickering in her eyes. "Ma'am, perhaps you'd like to rest in the lounge," she offered gently. Before I could answer, Camilla barked again. "Yes, take her away before she embarrasses us more," Camilla snapped, "and make sure someone keeps an eye on her so she doesn't get lost." Ethan laughed once more, nodding. My heart splintered, but my pride held me upright. I met Kara's eyes, silently telling her I wasn't ready to expose the truth. Then I picked up my suitcase and walked to the elevator. Behind me, Camilla barked demands about champagne and upgrades. Kara and I exchanged one last look before the doors closed. She knew who I was, and she was waiting for my signal. Alone in my room, I stared at the crashing waves. I had built this paradise, yet I sat here feeling like a ghost. My family had turned me into their unpaid servant. I barely slept that night, Camilla's words echoing in my head. "She's just the help," replayed again and again. Ethan's laughter cut through me like glass. At dawn, a knock came at my door. Ethan stood there, expression stiff but unapologetic. "We're going to breakfast, Mom. Then you can watch the kids by the pool." No greeting, no mention of last night, just an order. "Ethan, about what happened," I started, but he dismissed me with a wave of his hand. "Camilla was just stressed. Don't make a big deal out of it," he muttered. "You know how she gets." My stomach twisted at his indifference. "She screamed at me in public, called me a servant," I said softly. Ethan avoided my eyes. "She didn't mean it, Mom. Let's just enjoy the vacation." I searched his face for the boy who once held my hand during storms. That boy was gone, replaced by a man who chose convenience over respect. "Okay," I whispered, choking on the word. Relief spread across Ethan's face. "Perfect. You'll watch them all day. Spa, lunch, maybe shopping. We'll be back late." My chest felt hollow as I nodded. At breakfast, Camilla had secured the best window seat. She barked at the waiter, Terrell, demanding fresh juice and eggs boiled to the second. I saw the strain in his smile. Camilla was testing his patience. Maya and Dylan sat glued to their tablets, silent and cold. I reached to tuck Maya's hair back, but Camilla slapped my hand away. "Don't touch her hair. I just had it styled," she snapped. My hand recoiled like I'd been burned. Ethan told the kids to say good morning, but they mumbled without looking up. I was invisible at my own table. "After breakfast, you'll take the kids to the pool," Camilla instructed coldly. She listed sunscreen schedules and snack bans like I was a rookie babysitter. Each word sliced me deeper. I asked how long they'd be gone. Camilla's eyes glittered with disdain. "As long as we want. This is our vacation, not yours." At the pool, I tried to connect with my grandchildren. "Grandma," Maya asked suddenly, "Mom says you used to clean houses for rich people. Is that true?" My heart stopped. I had never cleaned for anyone but my guests in my hotels. I had built an empire with my bare hands, but Camilla had poisoned my grandchildren against me. "No, sweetheart," I said gently. "I own hotels. I build businesses." Dylan looked up, his voice sharp. "Mom says you lie because you're ashamed of being poor." His words cut through me like a blade. My own son had allowed these lies to spread. "I'm not poor and I don't make up stories," I insisted, but Maya shrugged. "That's what Mom says." Tears pricked my eyes, but I swallowed them. Hours crawled by as the children ignored me. Other families laughed and splashed, while I sat silently. Loneliness wrapped around me tighter than ever. Ethan and Camilla returned glowing from spa treatments and expensive lunches. Camilla's nails gleamed, her hair perfect. She looked pampered by services from the spa I owned. "How were the kids?" Ethan asked without looking at me. "They were fine," I replied flatly. My heart screamed to tell him the truth, but he wasn't listening. "Good," Camilla said. "You'll watch them again tomorrow. We have golf and lunch with friends." Ethan nodded along like a loyal servant. That night, the ocean waves thundered like my own heartbeat. This wasn't a family vacation. It was enslavement with a view. I realized I was footing the bill for my own humiliation. Pain hardened into fury as the night deepened. I thought of every sacrifice I had made for Ethan. My patience was over. The next morning, Camilla handed me another list of orders. Lunch at noon, granola bars ready, keep them out of the deep end. She applied lipstick in the mirror like a queen giving decrees. We'll be back at 6, maybe later, Ethan added lazily. As they prepared to leave, I overheard Camilla whispering on the phone. It's just a few more days, then everything will be sorted. A chill crept up my spine at her words. She didn't mean just the trip, she meant me. I felt a storm rising inside me. After dropping Maya and Dylan at the kids' club I had personally designed years ago, I wandered the property. I wanted to see my hotel through the eyes of a guest. That's when I heard voices coming from a private cabana. It was Ethan and Camilla, whispering with another couple. She's getting old. Old people don't last forever, Camilla said coldly. The other woman laughed nervously. That's awful, Camilla, she said. But Camilla just smirked. Ethan's an only child. We'll get everything soon enough. The only question is how long we'll have to wait. My stomach twisted as I leaned against a palm tree for support. What about Nora? The man asked. Ethan's voice came next, smooth and cold. She's broke, living in a tiny apartment, barely scraping by on Social Security. I've been supporting her for years. Lies flowed from his mouth like poison. In reality, I lived in a penthouse worth $5 million. My investments earned more in a month than a most made in a year. But my son painted me as a parasite. This trip is annoying, Camilla continued. We had to drag her along because she can't afford it. It's like dragging a pathetic pet you can't get rid of. The other woman sighed with pity. Don't worry. Once she needs real care, we'll dump her in a nursing home, Camilla added. I'm not turning my house into a retirement center for a useless old woman. My knees buckled, but I clung to the palm tree. Ethan laughed, cruel and sharp. She still thinks she's important, tells crazy stories about owning hotels. It's embarrassing, the man asked if I had dementia. Maybe, Ethan said coldly, or maybe she's just desperate to matter. They all laughed, each sound like glass cutting into me. I realized then that my son enjoyed tearing me apart. She has no idea we only brought her along for babysitting, Camilla sneered. She's grateful for crumbs of attention, like a pathetic dog. Their laughter roared again. They claimed Ethan paid all my bills, every meal, every expense. Lies, all of it. I'd been paying his mortgage, his children's school, even Camilla's shopping sprees. And yet they painted me as a financial burden. My hand shook as I covered my mouth to hold back a sob. The betrayal was total. Money, love, dignity, all twisted into jokes. My world collapsed in that moment. I thought back to the lobby, to the shame I endured in silence. I had tried to protect Ethan from embarrassment. Now I saw he was the one orchestrating my downfall. Rage unlike any I had ever known surged through me. This wasn't fleeting anger. It was a cold, deadly resolve. They thought I was weak, but they were about to learn who I really was. I pulled out my phone and dialed Kara's number. She answered immediately, her voice filled with concern. It's time, I said firmly. I picked up Maya and Dylan from the kids' club. We're going on an adventure, I told them with a smile. They hesitated, but I led them to the beach. For the first time, we built sandcastles, chased waves, and laughed together. I told them stories about their father as a little boy. For a few hours, I remembered what family should feel like. That evening, Ethan and Camilla burst into my room, flushed with alcohol and sun. We're going out, Camilla said dismissively. You can put the kids to bed. I blocked the door, my voice calm but unshakable. You won't be going out tonight. Camilla froze, her eyes narrowing. What's that supposed to mean? She hissed. It means you'll be checking out in the morning, I said coldly. Ethan blinked, confused, as I pulled a document from my purse. It was a record of every dollar I had ever given him. Mortgages, tuition, shopping sprees. Ethan's face drained of color as he read. You lied to me, he whispered, staring at his wife. She's lying, Camilla screamed. She doesn't own anything. She's nothing but a maid. Just then, Kara entered with hotel security. I was told there was a disturbance, Kara said firmly. Camilla pointed at me, her face twisted. Tell her she doesn't own this place. Kara straightened, her voice steady and proud. Mrs. Nora Hale is the sole owner of this hotel and all 17 Coastal Paradise properties. She is our founder, our CEO, and the reason we stand here today. Camilla's face went white, her mouth opening and closing without sound. Ethan stood speechless, the proof in his shaking hands. The truth crashed down like thunder. You'll be checking out tomorrow, and every penny spent here will be charged to your card, I said coldly. Every spa treatment, every cocktail, you pay it now. Camilla shrieked, You can't do this. Oh, but I can, I replied with a smile, and I will. Then I turned to Ethan, my voice breaking with sorrow. As for you, my son, my support ends tonight, I said. The mortgage stops. The tuition stops. You're on your own. His eyes filled with panic. Mom, please, we can fix this, Ethan begged. But I shook my head. You chose to laugh at my humiliation. Now you'll live with the consequences. Camilla clutched Ethan's arm, both of them pale and trembling. They had thought they owned me, but I had always held the power. That night, I slept peacefully for the first time in years. I realized I was never truly alone. I had my staff, my chosen family, and my own strength. Being alone isn't the same as being lonely. Sometimes the family you build is stronger than the one you're born into. Ethan and Camilla thought they had taught me a lesson when they mocked me, but it was I who learned the truth. I learned that I am worth fighting for, even if I have to fight alone. And that changed everything. My story may be fictionalized, but its message is real. How many mothers are silently suffering at the hands of their own children? If you were in my shoes, what would you have done? Would you stay silent for peace, or stand up and reclaim your dignity? Share your thoughts, because every story can light the way for someone else.